everyone, I'm Colleen from Pampered Chef and Slice, Dice, and Dish, and today I'm going to show you our new TasteBuds subscription and how it's going to work. I'm going to make a recipe for you today. So when you get your subscription, it comes in an envelope just like this. It says TasteBuds on it, and it comes at the beginning of each month, and each month has a different theme. And so you'll get your 3 recipe cards plus your packets of 3 different spices. And this month in October, our theme is everyday seasonings. And today we are going to make the salmon salad featuring the all-purpose dill mix. When you get your subscription, like I said, you get 3 recipe cards, and you also get a card that has alternative uses because you're gonna have some of the seasonings left over, so you can add those to other dishes that you're making or use them for other things. And what I love is it's got some easy tips as well. So it has some substitution tips. It gives you alternate ideas to do with a salad. If we have leftover dressing, it'll give you ideas to what to do with that as well. So like I said, we're gonna make the salmon salad today, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is do the dry brine on the salmon. And I've never done this before, so I'm actually excited to give it a try. In my prep bowl, I have 2 tablespoons of sugar and a tablespoon of salt. And, oh, let's see, no, wrong. I have 2 tablespoons of salt and a teaspoon of sugar. So right here on my recipe card, I've got it. And so we're just gonna sprinkle this on, let it rest for 10 minutes, and then rinse it in cold water. It says that it's worth every second to do this, so I'm going to give it a try. So there's an awful lot of this mixture, so I guess we just sprinkle it on. All right, some of it's already soaking into the salmon, so this is going to be interesting to see what it looks like in 10 minutes. So, okay, so there it is. I've got it on. Just going to give it a little spread around to make sure it's all covered, and we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes and see what happens. Our salmon has had the dry brine on it for 10 minutes, and so you can see it's absorbed a lot of it. There's still a little bit of the brine on top. So I have a bowl of cold water, and we're just going to submerge it in the cold water just to rinse off that brine. And interestingly enough, it's coming off really easily. And so we're just gonna do the first one and the second one, and then dry it with paper towels. Okay. That was easy. I'm so intrigued about how this is gonna taste because like I said, the recipe card said that the dry brine is well worth it. So just gonna towel it off with a paper towel. And then I have our medium bar stone here, our new medium bar stone. And this is one of Pampered Chef's new infusion stoneware pieces. And just gonna go ahead, I have some olive oil on here, just spread it around with my little basting brush just to give it a good coating, because I've got skin on the salmon and I don't want to take any chances that it's going to stick, especially since this is a newer stone. I've only used it once or twice. So we are going to just lay the salmon pieces right on the bar stone. This out of the way. And then we are going to put a teaspoon of the dill mix on each one of our salmon fillets. Oh, this dill mix smells so good. If you've ever had this, you know how good it smells. And I absolutely love it because it's so versatile, and one of the best things that you can use with this is you can mix it with sour cream and mayonnaise and make a pretzel dip. That's one of my favorites. You can also use it to make your dressing, which we're going to, but it's a great blend of some dried herbs and spices. Obviously it's got the dill in it. Okay, so we're just gonna pop that on. That is it. Set our pouch aside. And by the way, these pouches have a resealable zipper on them, so they can store right in here and stay fresh without a problem. This is gonna pop in the oven. I have the oven preheated 375. It's gonna go in the oven for about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes, just until it flakes easily. And we're gonna continue on making the salad dressing and the salad and the pickled onions next. Next, to make the dressing, we are going to use some milk. You can use buttermilk if you want to. I'm going to show you how to make some buttermilk or regular milk, some mayonnaise, and this has a little bit of salt in here and the dill mix. And this dressing is really good. You can use this if you want to, because you're probably might have a little bit of extra. You can use it as a dipping sauce for some chicken tenders, or you can use it, the suggestion on the card was for coleslaw, and I have some coleslaw mix in my refrigerator that I didn't know what I was gonna do with. So I'm going to do that. So in order to make buttermilk, if you don't have it, it's not something that I normally have on hand, but the easiest way to do it is just to measure out your milk and then add a little bit of vinegar, and that will create your buttermilk for you. So I'm just gonna add about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of vinegar right into the milk, and that'll just create it for you. So isn't that a great substitution and super easy? So I have my salt in here. I'm gonna go ahead and add my buttermilk mixture, or just my buttermilk, I suppose. We're gonna do 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and this you can just kind of eyeball right into our measure, mix, and pour. And this probably looks different from some of the measure, mix, and pours that you guys have, because we did redesign it just in the last year or so. And then we're going to put in a teaspoon of the dill mix, or the dill seasoning. If you don't have your adjustable measuring spoons, this is when you're going to use these, and they're gonna come in handy. Okay, so just in, and then you just go ahead and pop your lid on your measure, mix, and pour, and then just start mixing. It doesn't have the plunger or anything anymore, but just give it a mix, and then I'm gonna let this sit, because when you're using a dried herb or any kind of dried seasoning, you wanna mix it a little bit earlier than you're gonna use it, so it gives the flavors time to, release all their oils and rehydrate and blend in. So this is just gonna go sit on the side, and next I'm gonna show you how to make the pickled onions that are gonna go on top. To make the pickled onions, we're going to start with a half a cup of water, add in a half a cup of white wine vinegar, a quarter cup of sugar, a teaspoon of salt that I'm using right from our grinder set, and our Himalayan sea salt that's in our pantry line. Just mix that in, and then a half a teaspoon of the dill mix. We're just gonna mix this together, and then we're gonna pop it in the microwave. And so let me check my recipe card. I need to see how long we're going to microwave this. Okay, let's see, microwave uncovered for 2 minutes. Okay, just gonna mix it together, and we're just gonna microwave it for 2 minutes, just until the sugar dissolves and everything gets blended together. And then we're gonna slice our onions and then pop our onions in this mixture to go ahead and marinate. The easiest way to slice your onions for something like this is to use Pampered Chef's Simple Slicer. I love this, and I've had it in my kitchen for a long time. It's one of the staples and a product that I use almost all the time. And the easiest way to do this, I get this question all the time, because customers will ask me, they'll say they have the hardest time getting what you're gonna slice onto the food holder. So what you wanna do is go ahead and engage the food holder right onto your Simple Slicer, and then put your onion or your tomato, whatever you're doing, down on your cutting board, and then just go ahead and press the food holder right onto that. That's the easiest way to attach it. And I'm gonna do this on a number 2 setting. We want our onions pretty thin, but not paper thin like the number 1 setting. And then just go ahead and start slicing, super easy. Show you what we are done with. Okay, we are done. And now you've got your onion slices. So faster, that took me less than a minute. I've got another minute to go in the microwave, and then I'm just kind of separating these into rings, just so then when they start marinating in the mixture that's in the microwave, it'll just be a little bit easier. Since they're not together, it can get around all of the parts of the onion and start giving it some of that great flavor. Now, when you take your prep bowl out of the microwave, just remember that it might be a little hot because it is glass, and it's been in the microwave for longer than about 30 seconds, and the glass will heat up. So gosh, I've got all these onions here. I wonder if I'm even gonna be able to get them to fit in there. So let's see, we've got about 30 seconds before our onion mixture is done. I'm just gonna give it another stir. And I love doing this with red onions. I love pickling them. It tastes so good. And you can use this on a lot of other things. Obviously, we're gonna put it on top of the salmon too. But with salads, it's great. I love it on sandwiches, like when you make a hoagie or a sub or a grinder, wherever you're from. Everybody seems to call it something different. Let me grab my oven mitt and get it out of the microwave. Okay. Oh, It's not too hot, so we are good. Okay, nice and dissolved, looking good. Just gonna give it a stir. And then we're going to add, look at that steam coming off of it. We're going to add our onion slices right into the pickling marinade. I think I can get them all in. Ooh, okay, the water is hot, so if you touch it with your hands, just know that. Okay, all of this is gonna go in, and then actually I'm gonna pop this into the refrigerator. Now it hasn't been in the microwave so hot that we're gonna have to worry about going from extremes, but I'm gonna pop this into the refrigerator just to let the onions do their marinating. And you can just leave this right in here overnight too if you wanted to. And I love this recipe. As I read through it, this is a great recipe for a make ahead. So if you're gonna have some friends over for lunch, you want to have a light lunch on a weekday or on the weekend, just go ahead and get everything prepped. Your dressing prepped, your pickled onions prepped, you can have your salmon ready to go, and then just cook it off and assemble your salad. And actually that's what we're going to do next. Our salmon is all done and it looks perfect, so I'm just going to set it aside to cool while I chop the salad. So what I'm going to do is just show you how I chop up romaine. You can use the salad choppers if you would like, if that makes it easier. But I just take the romaine heart and I cut it lengthwise once, and then I turn it on its side and cut it lengthwise again. And then I just start cutting it into little chiffonade pieces. I got 2 romaine hearts already cut, and they are in our acacia salad bowl, our wooden salad bowl set. So beautiful. It makes presentation just lovely, and I'm going to show it to you right now. So just pop it in here, and look at this. Look at how pretty this bowl is, and it's the perfect size when you're entertaining or just at home, and it comes with the 2 accessories. So next I'm going to slice our tomatoes in half using our closing cut. This is great. You can use it for bagels. You can use it for tomatoes, grapes. I guess with little ones, you're not supposed to give them whole grapes because it's a choking hazard. Who knew? Our parents did it for us when we were kids and we turned out okay. But just super easy. So you just pile them in here. You've also probably seen me split my chicken breasts using this. I love using this to buy whole chicken breasts from the store, and then I just put them in here and split them in half, and it's such a great money saver. And so all you do is put your tomatoes in here, close it, and then just go ahead and slice through. And look at this, all of the tomatoes are all cut right in half. So easy, you don't have to do them one by one. And just gonna scatter these right over the top, and then I'll be back to assemble the salad in just a minute to show you that. Okay, so we're ready to plate up our salmon salad from the TasteBuds subscription. So the first thing we're gonna do is just go ahead and put our tomatoes and romaine that we tossed up earlier on our plate. I'm so excited about this. This smells incredible. All right, so we have that. And then I'm going to add our dressing first. So we've got the dressing in the measure mix and pour. Just gonna drizzle a little bit this over the top. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. This has been sitting for a little bit, so the flavors have had time to meld. The buttermilk and the mayonnaise and the dill seasoning, the garlic in there, the dehydrated garlic and everything has just come out. All the flavors are blooming and it smells so good. We're just gonna go ahead and add a piece of the salmon, and then add a little bit of the pickled onions right on top. Look at these. These look beautiful. The colors, look at that. They're like all purple and gorgeous. All right, that is it. Look at our dinner. This is our salmon salad from the TasteBuds subscription. If your dinner didn't look like this tonight, click the link. I am going to add the link so you can check out the subscription options for the TasteBuds. And I'm gonna dive into this next. So thank you for joining me. Next week I will be back with our next recipe from TasteBuds, and you have your chance to vote. Do you want me to do the pasta recipe or the onion burger recipe? So go ahead and vote in the comments below, and I'll see you back here next week. Good night, everyone.